In this video, we'll try to generate one more limit exception in our code, and this one is regarding the heap size. So as per Salesforce governor limits, a synchronous Apex transaction can utilize up to a 6 MB of heap, where the asynchronous transaction can utilize 12 MB of heap. Now heap here directly relates to the memory that your program needs to execute. So this is the size of RAM that your program will need to execute the code, and this is generally being occupied by the variables that you use in your program, like the list, sets, map, or the normal variables. So in our program we'll try to utilize so much of heap so that we hit this 6 MB of heap size limit. Most of the Apex programs that you are going to write will never hit this heap size limit, but some of them will, and in those cases you will need to optimize your code and you need to make sure that the space complexity of your algorithm is less. So now let's go back to our developer console and let's write a sample program which is going to utilize so much of heap that we are going to hit this 6 MB limit. So as I said, heap directly relates to the amount of memory that your program can store. So in our Apex program, we are going to query the account records, and we are going to query most of the fields from account object, and then we are going to multiply the items in that list till the time we hit the heap size limit exception. So let's query our account records first, and for that I'm going to use my query builder. So I'll open the account object. Let's open it. Let's select most of the fields. Let's build a query and let's open this panel actually. So this will be our query. Let's click on execute. So it works fine. So I'm going to copy this query from here and let's paste it here inside our anonymous window. And I'm going to store the output in a list of account. So that should be it. Now what I'll do, I'll clone this list of account in another list. So let me clone it. Let's call it duplicate accounts, and this should be equals to accounts. Now I'm going to use the add all method on accounts list, and I'm going to keep on adding this duplicate accounts till the time I hit my heap size limit issue. So let me run a while loop here, and the condition will be 1 double equals to 1. So this will be an endless while loop. I'm going to copy this line inside the while loop. So on each iteration I'm going to copy the current account size, and I'm going to copy it in a duplicate accounts list, and then I'll use the add all method on accounts list, which can add all the elements from an list to the other list. So here I'm going to add all the duplicates account again. So the next time I'll come to this loop, this account size would be double, so will be our duplicate account size, and then we'll add all these duplicates again on the accounts list. So let's give this code a try and click on execute. So let's see if we hit the CPU timeout exception first or the heap size exception first. So we see our heap size exception here, and it says the Apex heap size is too large and this value is more than 6 MB, which we are not allowed to use because a single synchronous Apex program or a single transaction can utilize up to a 6 MB of heap size. So you need to make sure that you use correct data structure to store the data, and as soon as the use of the data is over, you nullify those variables. For example, as soon as you are done using the accounts list, then you can nullify it manually. So you can do something like accounts equals to null, and this will clear the heap that particular list is using. So if this list is occupying, let's say 2 KB of heap, then as soon as this line will execute, that 2 KB will be freed from the heap. Let me cut this line from here. Let me paste it here along with the comment. So when you execute this statement, it's going to free the amount of memory this accounts list was holding. Another way to avoid hitting the heap size exception would be to use SOQL for loops. So whenever it is possible, use SOQL for loops. For example, instead of writing your select statement here first and storing it inside a list, you could directly use the select statement inside a for loop, something like this: for account ACC, and here you can copy your select statement and paste it directly here, and then you can write your code block within the for loop. This improves the amount of heap your code is using, because this SOQL query right here executes in chunk with 200 records each time, and this is always going to pass one single account here within the for loop. So the amount of heap will always be limited to 200 of account records, and as soon as the next iteration of for loop will come and 200 records are already processed, then this select statement is going to give the next 200 records. So you'll never fetch all the accounts in one go, the way we were doing here in our line number 1. Here it fetches all the accounts in one go and store them inside a list. But here, if you use SOQL for loop, then you only retrieve 200 records at a time, and once those 200 records are processed, then you retrieve the next 200 records. So these are some of the ways to avoid hitting heap size exception in Apex. So that's all in this video. I'll see you guys in the next video.